Yeah.
But ooh. Okay, we'll start again. Yeah, I can't do that. Hi, Bob. How you doing?
Good. How are you, Robert?
I'm doing all right.
Good. Good.
I like your name.
The same.
Yeah. So this is your gallery. How long have you been here?
I think it's about 3.5 years or so at this point.
Nice.
Yeah.
So have you thought about what you'd like to talk about?
Not really. Yeah, that's completely up to you.
Yeah, I am the interviewer,
Yeah.
aren't I? Okay. Well, we've been talking for quite some time. A lot about these gig jobs.
Yeah, it's the gig economy.
I'm a roverer. You're an Uber or a Lyft.
No,
right?
Lyft driver.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
At the moment, yeah. I wish I could say that was in my past, but yeah, it still helps pay the bills.
Yeah. I wish I could still do it. I've been relegated to DoorDash only.
I've never done that.
Can't do humans anymore.
Yeah.
But I love your painting of Dick Cheney getting plowed by a unicorn.
Yeah, I think it's called Divine Justice, or the impossibility of being shagged by a unicorn in the mind of someone still living.
That's a long title.
It is, but yeah, I wanted to reference the Damien Hirst title.
So you do some political art. What other art do you do?
Yeah, it's sprinkled in there, but I'm kind of all over the place. Yeah, anything from portraits to landscapes to abstract stuff.
So painting.
Yeah, I used to make more sculpture, but I don't know. I haven't really had space for welding or anything.
You said you had a degree in English. Is that what it was?
Yeah.
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 But visual art was more appealing to you, like instead of writing.
No, I still do. I used to have a small press. It's just not active right now, but I published about a dozen books. So I was editing and publishing, and I've also translated 2 books of poetry and wrote a book of poetry.
Translated from
French to English.
You speak French?
Not really. I went to Paris and I felt like an ox. Everything was too fast. I'd have to be living there for a while to really get it. It took me a long time to do the translations.
I don't think I've ever heard that as a descriptor. I felt like an ox. That's a saying?
I don't know if it's the same. No, it is. But yeah, it's still right. I mean, I sing too, so a lot of.
Oh yeah, I like your song on Bandcamp. That was a.
Yeah, thanks. The Blue in America.
Yes. Yeah. That was the first one you had up.
Yeah, yeah. We just recorded that. That was a reworking of an older song called "Lost in America," and I kind of just updated. The catastrophes.
It was like a flow of thought. Is that right? Like a. I only listened to it once.
Okay.
Flow of thought. And the graphics on the songs, you did all of them. There's the album art.
I honestly can't remember what I posted.
There's one that looks like the mouth that looks like a hole or some.
Oh, Trump with an asshole for a mouth.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was me. Yeah. It's T-Rump.
T-Rump. I got you.
For, dinosaurs in the moonlight. Yeah. Yeah, and I guess that was for Blue in America. I can't remember exactly what I posted, honestly. I only posted a few songs on Bandcamp. I mean, I just finally got around to I just made a Bandcamp site, and it's probably way out of fashion at this point. If I'm doing it, it's probably already past.
I have to tell you, I'm not big into music, but like I have never heard of Bandcamp. So.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. Yeah. I have no. I mean, I'd never use like Spotify. I went on once. I met somebody who had a Spotify page, and I listened to her stuff. But I don't typically listen to music digitally. I mean, I still listen to the radio.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of disappointed that you can't even get a car now with like a CD player. You know, they don't. The new ones don't have them.
Yeah,
anymore.
I'm not. That doesn't disappoint me.
Yeah, I like CD players.
Sure.
I still want to buy a CD.
Yeah.
If I have extra money, it's like I don't do downloads.
I've heard that like tape is actually better than like there's like an
I
oxidation
still-
issue with like CDs now, like old CDs. I hear that they're not as like solid state as they once were believed. Like
Oh, really? Huh.
Yeah.
I still have hundreds of cassettes. Once in a while, I'll pop one in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
what stations do you listen? WZUM is that?
Sometimes. Usually, if I'm in the car, it's YAP.
Uh-huh.
But at home, I'm kind of tucked on a hillside, and I get really bad reception. So the only thing I listen to at home is the classical station, QED. So
Mhm.
that's just on 24/7.
Bob, we're a lot alike here.
Yeah.
I'm a big radio fan.
Yeah, I love radio.
Yeah.
And I listen to Sirius XM. I have that in the car.
Well, that's nice for you.
The real
Or Lyft.
jazz station. Yeah.
Yeah, WZUM, they cut songs off in the middle a lot, I've noticed. Is it
I don't listen to ZUM as much as sometimes I'll put it on here,
Mhm.
but yeah, I just don't listen to it as much. Usually I'll catch the Soul Show sometimes on Saturday afternoons, but I'm not as familiar with their programming.
you have an LLC?
I might have for something. I'm not even sure about that stuff. I think I did that when I had an art gallery years ago,
Uh-huh.
but it hasn't been active. I mean, has been more of a studio than a gallery. But I am going to start doing shows on a regular
And
basis.
you said this was Roboto before.
Yeah, it was the original Roboto project.
Roboto. But what was it before that? Was it like a...
I have no idea. I think it might have been like some sort of theater space. I've read that in the past, Wilkinsburg had 6 movie theaters.
Wow.
And just the way this is,
Yeah, the arch.
that it looks like it might have been like a theater of some kind. Not 100% sure that I haven't done the research on it. I'm sure I could find out.
Yeah, it's a nice space. 3.5 years, you say, huh?
I think it's been that. I think I've had 3 New Year's Eve parties since I've been here. And I moved in February. So, yeah, a bit over. Oh, I guess it's been 4 years. Yeah.
4 years.
Well, 3 New Year's Eve parties, so yeah. Shit.
Sounds right.
That means I only got 1 more year on my lease.
Oh, no! You better finish the floor and enjoy it before you... Are you planning on renewing your leases?
At this point, no, but if I get a lot more money in the next year, it's up for debate, really. I mean, if things get more successful for me, otherwise it just feels like it's just too much of a grind to make the rent. I sell enough more art to pay for the rent, but it's not enough to live on after that.
Yeah.
And I really have to, I have to do some thinking on that. And, I mean, I'd like to change the space into a movie set. And I still have to finish writing a script, which is just about done, but that was one of the premises for moving in here, was to convert it into a bookstore after 5 years.
You won't want to sell books?
To make it as a movie set. And then
Okay, like a bookstore movie set. Not a real bookstore.
No, and then leave it as a bookstore when I left.
Is this some sort of meta project you got here?
Kind of. I don't know. Yeah, that was the vision. Was that it would eventually be turned into a bookstore. Like
that would bring you full circle with your English degree.
Yeah, in some ways. Yeah. I had a bookstore years ago, and I got burned out on it pretty quick. But there's no bookstore in this town, so I think I think every town should have a bookstore. So
You're talking about Wilkinsburg.
yeah, Wilkinsburg. There's no bookstore here. Okay.
You're not vain, are you?
No, I know I'm not photogenic, but that's about it. I'm resigned to that.
Okay. Yeah. It's good. Make your peace with it.
And
I'm gonna have to cut this out. This is very boring. That's also a good thing, you know. You can cut anything out.
yeah, that's
Should
what
be
my
like-
final cut is for. Right?
Typically on my interviews, I do edits, but I don't cut anything out for the
Oh,
most
yeah.
part.
Huh?
I like.
Well, we can make something so bad that has to be so long.
No,
pauses.
I don't care. These are like they're for me, really. I mean, like I like studying people and myself, how I'm interacting with other people, and a lot of it's hard these days with like the 8-second attention span because
Yeah.
people just click away so fast. But like
Yeah.
I don't care.
13 minutes is an eternity.
Yes, yeah. Well, we were talking earlier about conversational styles, which I found pretty interesting, and you were.
Yeah, you're the only other person that's brought that up, but that's definitely I've mentioned that to people that yeah.
And you said you have a challenge in Pittsburgh because
Oh,
you're from New Jersey,
Yeah, and we just talk over each other.
but it's not disrespectful.
It's not disrespectful, it's just the way it is.
Yeah.
I mean, everything just moves faster there. I grew up 10 miles from Manhattan, and yeah, everything's just a little quicker.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like New York's a magnet. If you're driving from Pennsylvania into Manhattan, it's like you're going through New Jersey, and it's like a big magnet. All the cars start going faster, and it's more condensed, and
Yeah.
everybody's okay driving faster and being closer, and
Uh-huh.
and it's sort of that way conversationally. It's just. Yeah, it's a different way of communicating. Everybody talks over each other. And when I got to Pittsburgh, I realized if I start talking while somebody else is talking, they immediately shut up. And, I feel rude. And I've been here 30 years.
And you still do it.
I still do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm still finding myself feeling like an idiot. And yeah, it's just the way it is here. It's just very...
Well, that's odd because this is the East Coast, and like the talking over, it's not talking over. It's like you butt in because you're like, I'm going to direct this conversation here, and then they do it from you, right?
Yeah, and
That's on.
if I'm hanging out with friends from New Jersey, it's like there's like half a dozen of us, and we're all talking at the same time, and that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But here, it's like they'll never butt in on you, right? They let you finish. But if you're a talkative person, then it can never. That can also be a problem.
Yeah.
But Grace told me you were a chatty person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I
Do
don't know.
you think of yourself that way?
Not particularly. Actually, people have said the opposite.
Really? Huh.
Yeah,
I wonder.
yeah. Thad Mosley commented not too long ago. He just passed away a few days ago. But
Yeah.
he said, Robert's quiet like I think like Sam Gilliam, his friend Sam. He's an artist.
I haven't found you quiet at all. I mean, we were talking for quite some time before we started rolling. Yeah,
Yeah.
you have a soft demeanor, but you're not quiet. I mean, you're like volume-wise, you're quiet, but like you're not like difficult to carry a conversation along with.
Yeah.
You were participating
Yeah.
up until the point of like, what would you like to talk about? And then it's like, and then you put it to me. But yeah, I really want to talk about what you want to talk about.
I really didn't have anything in mind, honestly.
Yeah.
I just been busy, and I knew there was an interview at 2, and I really didn't put much thought into it.
I told you my family was MAGA. You want to keep the peace.
Yeah, I just don't want to bother.
I need to take a lesson from you. It's very difficult for me not to like be screaming like, I was like being like Nazi, and now I'm starting to think like MAGA is actually more of an insult than Nazi. It's like, they're like, don't call me Nazi or whatnot. I'm like, but like fascism, ah.
Well, now it's so out in the open now that they're, literally building concentration camps that it's like, holy fuck. And the pedophilia stuff that's coming out, it's like, yeah, you think it's a good time for them to like take a safe ramp off of that.
Yeah. But they're doubling down. So many of them are.
Wow. I just find that I need to renew my passport as soon as possible.
It's everywhere. I mean, we are definitely like a shining star of fucked upness, but
it's incredibly bad right now. I mean, what's going on is just horrific. Like blowing up that Iranian ship in the Indian Ocean. It's like, holy fuck. We knew that they were unarmed, and we let, was it 89 people drown?
Yeah,
that's incredibly fucked up. And I hope Hegseth is charged with war crimes.
It absolutely should be.
Is responsible. Because apparently we were part of that exercise, so we knew that they were unarmed. Like, that's a prerequisite for being in that exercise. It was an international Navy exercise. And so they knew the ship was unarmed when they torpedoed it, which is totally fucked up war crime.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't think it gets any worse than the children's school.
Yeah.
I mean, that's like, at that point, it's like, there's nothing more.
Yeah, there's nothing good that could come out of this.
No.
Yeah. At that point.
No, and just making more terrorists. That's, I'm not going to defend Iran or the Ayatollah or whatnot, but like, you just give more and more reasons to hate us, and it's like, of course they want to destroy America, but is that why do you do political art? I mean, I've dabbled in it a little bit, but like, does it help you like deal with like all this?
I don't really think about it too much, but I guess it's a way of processing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's for me too. It's been helpful. I did a Putin penis painting. These rockets that were shaped like penises. And a big portrait of him. And then a performance piece. I pissed on it in front of the Coke Works. And but I got taken down. You're not allowed to pee on paintings. Well, you couldn't see it was from the back, so it was just the pee that you could see. But they found that to be like it was a strike against me on YouTube for some.
They took it down.
Yeah, it was a community violation. Like, it's
no urine.
I don't know if it was the urine thing, and it wasn't a person's face. It was a painting, but like, yeah, I didn't want to risk it, so I took it down.
Yeah.
But it was like Andy Warhol, like, meets, I don't know, something. He was peeing on paintings for a different reason.
Well, he hired people to pee on his paintings.
Oh, he didn't even pee himself.
No,
how nice.
No. You could have got a job as a
urinator.
Urinationist or whatever.
I would put that on my resume for sure. Yeah, do you have any vision of what's next in your work?
I'm going to do more bicycle paintings. I just installed one at the airport.
Nice.
That was 16 feet by 6 feet.
Was that a commission or?
No, it was kind of odd. I got an email a couple months ago saying we need information about your paintings, and could you write a little bit about it? And I'm like, what paintings? I had no idea. And I did a residency at the Children's Museum years ago.
Hmm.
Of I had kids ride bicycles across a 25-foot canvas,
Hmm.
and we made four
With paint,
pieces
right?
of
You
paint. I
go.
would paint their tires
Uh-huh.
on the bicycles, and there was a tricycle too. And the kids would line up and ride across the canvas.
Fun.
And yeah, it was fun, really, and they came out great. And they asked me if they could have some artwork for the museum, and it didn't make sense for a 25-foot canvas for them. So I did works before on paper, like 30-foot roll of paper that people would ride across in my studio. And I had cut them up into smaller pieces. So I gave them four pieces, I guess, because, and I kind of forgot about it. They had them on display at the Children's Museum, and then, I just forgot about it. It was done in 2012. But apparently they bought them out to the airport, to the kids' port area, and they've been there for like a decade, and I had no idea. So, I had a 25-foot piece on the wall that wasn't a triptych like this one. And I said, well, I have this piece that was actually done, with children, with the Children's Museum. Do you want this one? And they said, yeah. So that was great.
Yeah.
The wall they had space for it. I had to cut it down a bit, but it's 16 feet. And yeah. So I was really happy about that. So they have it for a loan, and they paid me for the loan, which was great. And hopefully they'll renew it a year from now. I just installed that a few weeks ago. So I want to make more of the bike paintings, although I want to make them with like a dark background and see how that works. So I'll probably be doing some painting parties here. Yeah.
You'll have to invite me.
Okay.
What does it say?
Yeah, I've got two bikes now. I have to get a tricycle too, because I like having the kids participate.
Well, maybe I won't. I'm a little bit. Maybe I'm a little too old for your.
Oh no. When it was at my studio on Penn Avenue, it was mostly adults. There were kids too, but yeah, there were plenty of adults. But yeah, doing that, and I want to get more into doing more portraits. I'm still working on that one. That's my first real oil painting.
All in love.
It's actually a mix. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's my friend Kip Malone. But I didn't get his face right. I'm kind of embarrassed. It makes you question everything about your life when you can't get a face right.
Oh, faces are hard.
They can be, and sometimes it's really easy, and sometimes I struggle with it.
You work from photographs? Is that?
Yeah, usually. Yeah.
Have you ever used like grids or?
I'm not really
Projectors?
trained. I mean, I call myself a folk artist.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really.
Folk art has always been a weird term for me. I don't know how I've.
Like, I'm really pretty much self-taught. I mean, I had art, like just classes in college, but, by the time I got to school, it was already, I didn't have like a formal schooling with it.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty loose nowadays. I think everybody's self-taught in a way.
There's a portrait school in New Orleans, so there's at least one place where
Yeah,
people.
yeah. There's still
classical.
real academic schools, but for a lot of them, they just kind of ditched that. It's not as strict as it used to be, anyway.
Yeah, it's more about. I mean, if you need to have like an accurate representation, why not use a camera, right? So
I guess. Yeah. Every time I do a portrait, it's like I've never painted one before. Honestly.
Yeah, no, they're difficult.
Yeah, and that one's still, it's better than it was when I first did it,
Mhm.
but it's still not there yet. It's, yeah, still working on it.
But you have it hung. You have it hung. It's
Yeah, it's still got to go back on the easel. Yeah.
all right.
Yeah, it was in a show, but he lives in Brooklyn, so he couldn't be offended when I showed it here.
Does he
in
know you did it?
Pittsburgh. Yeah, I posted it originally for hopefully for it to get in a show that was taking place in Brooklyn,
Mhm.
but it didn't get accepted, so I got to like work on it some more.
Yeah. So what drew you to art?
It's something I've done all my life. I don't really think about it. I did the cover of my school newspaper when I was in the second grade. And my parents were supportive of it. I remember having like paint by number sets when I was a little kid.
They supported your pursuit of art.
Yeah, yeah. My father once told me that the only regret he had in life was that he didn't become an artist.
Huh.
It was like, yeah.
What did he do?
He was a cop and then became a court clerk, but he played the trombone when he was younger.
Mhm.
And I saw, he showed me a cartoon he did once that was really good. He had a really good hand. Yeah.
But a cop and then a court clerk.
Yeah, my
Yeah.
mom hated that he was a cop and had a gun in the house, and he did that for 11 years.
Hmm.
And
They typically get a lot of respect in home, but your mom just didn't like it.
yeah, it was probably best he didn't have a gun laying around with like two boys.
Yeah, I grew up with a
Idiots.
gun on the coffee table, loaded.
Really?
Mhm.
Wow.
Revolver, 357 Magnum,
Wow. Well, that's like
a big gun.
Midwestern PA, yeah. Was your father a hunter?
He was a ex Green Beret.
Yeah. Oh.
He was a sheriff briefly, military police, but then he got an officer pregnant and kicked. And well, no, he was on early. He got. You're not supposed to do that. He got my mom pregnant. She was a nurse, an officer. But he had a weak ego. Be classified as having narcissistic personality disorder, which is similar to Trump, and everyone thinks that they're egotistical or whatnot, but that's really a ruse. They're not egotistical. They're extremely insecure, and it comes across as being egotistical. But that was a lot of the gun was he carried it everywhere. It's like,
Wow.
I remember driving around with him, and if someone cut him off, he'd whip it out and be like, "I want to kill you!"
Wow.
Yeah,
Man, that's crazy.
yeah. I mean, Vietnam definitely did a number on his
Yeah.
head, and his father was pretty aggressive too.
Yeah.
But
He's still around?
no, he died a few years ago. I didn't talk to him for 2 decades. I kept trying to get some relationship. Some of it was half-assed, but like right before, like 3 months before he died, I wrote him an earnest letter, and I was trying to be like you, like we won't talk about politics, we won't talk about religion or economics or any of the things that we strongly disagree on, and I just want to come over and visit with my sister. But he wanted an apology, and I started talking to my stepmother, but stick on you. No, he's gone. He's gone 3 or 4 years now. I did a pretty weird video. I got my hands on some LSD, and I did a video of me tripping on top of his grave. Trying to introduce my cult to the world. So that was my first video, which I don't recommend though. If the cult does start, there will be a psilocybin sacrament, because I think that would probably help the world. It's I think the big thing. Oh, I'm starting to rant. Never mind.
No, go ahead. You can always edit it out.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, I mean, I think the psychedelics, they like a big part of our problem is this personality disorder. It's from childhood trauma and insecure attachment, and the psychedelics. I don't know if you've ever done them. I kind of feel like you probably have. Um, is that right?
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, I've done plenty of that in the past.
yeah, yeah. Well, I don't know if you've ever had this experience, but you kind of have like an ego death, or it can cause like an ego death, where you like, this attachment that you have to yourself kind of dissolves, and you get more of a other perspective. Like it just seems like it enables empathy, or it can. Uh, um, but if I started the cult legit, which I want to do, hopefully,
That's a kind of weird ambition, if I may say so.
it's unusual. Yeah, I mean, I don't want worshipped. Like you, whenever I first mentioned it to you, you were like, you mentioned cult. That's why I brought mine up because you were like, I think talking about the MAGA cult.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, no, not all cults are bad, and they're not. Catholicism, Islam, all the religions are cults. They're all cults, and then there's cults of personality, and then there's I consider like sports team enthusiasts. They're cults. Like in Philadelphia they turn cars upside down if they lose or win. I don't know. It's like they have such a strong identity to that.
Hmm.
Uh,
Yeah, they're just when they reach a certain level of acceptance or popularity, they're not called cults anymore.
right, which is a shame because it's like it's good to recognize what it is. Yeah,
Yeah, like nation states yeah.
yeah. I mean, in my cult, basic, the basic. A lot of it is appropriated from other places. Grace called it boring, but it's I think it's important to recognize that we are all human. Like we're connected with that, and like the further we divide ourselves, I mean, some division is acceptable if it's like subjective and you recognize it. But like, the Middle East right now, I think that it's a religious war. It seems like a huge religious war. It seems like the Christians in America are fighting alongside the Jews against Islam. And
It's scary. I mean, with all the service people who complained about the religious talk that they were given. Did you read about that?
they did.
That's insane.
Yeah.
I mean, there's people who were telling our military that we're bringing on Armageddon
Mm-hmm.
and that Trump is anointed
Mm-hmm.
to do that. It's like,
And you have you saw the picture of all the
That's
people putting it
totally cult.
all around the yeah.
Like that's insane.
That's a bad call.
That's insane.
Yeah,
He
and
should be. I can't believe he hasn't been arrested for one thing, but like impeach like
he was impeached.
20.
I think
Yeah, but gone.
like gone. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's the thing that frustrates me with the liberals is they don't like
They're just. Yeah.
they
Obtuse.
the solution is pulling the people from the right, the MAGA. They're the solution. They're the ones that hold the keys. Because like we can continue to talk about how like horrible Trump is or whatnot, but like we have to befriend them, and then. But there might be
At some point we just have to enforce the law, and like
Yeah,
he should have woken up in jail on January 7th.
you're right.
At the very least for inciting a riot.
Yeah, yeah.
And that they just like twiddled their thumbs until the next election is just unforgivable. That it's a huge failure of law enforcement.
Mm-hmm.
Just a huge failure. And that he pardoned those people.
Yeah,
who
it's
rioted.
it's vile.
Yeah.
But the point is, you agree with it. I agree with it. The 70 million liberals agree with it, and probably a large portion of the 150 million independents. I mean, I consider myself an independent. Agree with it. It's the 70 million people that that's why I don't support gay pride parades. I'm non-binary and quasi-bi, I'm monogamous, so like I prefer females, but like I consider myself, LGBTQ plus or whatever. But I think the gay pride parades is a bad strategy. Like I'm all for, but what was I talking about in your interview? Yeah, it's the MAGA. It's like, and there's, I'm coming to get to the point where it's, it's just accept the karma. It's like, I've been trying and trying and trying. I mean, I like your car looks pretty efficient. We both agreed that hybrids are the way to go, but like, it's almost like their backyard has to catch on fire before they believe that global warming is a thing. Like they're just not going to believe it. Like,
yeah, it's bizarre.
Yeah, it's not bizarre. Like if you study personality, it's like it's cognitive distortions. It's insane. Yeah, but it's like perfectly predictable with the amount of trauma that everyone's experiencing, and it's generational trauma. Like I don't blame my father anymore for like the horrors that I went through, because the reason that he was like that was because he went through horrors growing up, and it just goes back. It's generational, and like, you don't have kids.
No.
Yeah. See, that's the answer as far as I'm concerned.
How not to pass on trauma.
Well,
yeah, I didn't have any trauma growing up. I mean, my father was the sweetest guy I've ever known. Yeah.
That's so great. I mean,
yeah, he was just great. And
the police officer, so he's like sweet, but like
the only time I ever heard my father with even a trace of pride was he told me one time that in all his years on the police force, and this was a guy who was he had a bunch of sharpshooting trophies, and they were all in a box in the basement in the crawl space. And he said in all his years on the police force, he never once took his gun out of his holster. That was the only time I heard him with a bit of pride.
From restraint.
Yeah, so he was justifiably proud of that. Because I've had police pull guns on me for having beer in my front seat or something, just dumb shit.
Yeah. That is not a good reason to pull a gun.
No, it's not.
Yeah. I've had strange experiences with cops. I joined the police force. I was enrolled in New Orleans.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. What happened?
I sabotaged them.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. It's
purposely?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I went off my rocker. It's I did. I was struggling. I don't know how you said that you were close to my poverty level in this society, and it's difficult, and especially you mentioned like you can't imagine applying for a real job. Is that so? That's like
Yeah, I can't imagine.
Like a real job. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I remember as a teenager looking through the want ads and realizing there's nothing here that interests me. Like zero. Yeah.
Did you ever talk to a psychologist?
No, I've never been to psychotherapy. I mean, there were times where I was completely insane, but I never... I grew up working class, and that just wasn't a thing.
Oh, right. Uh-huh.
Yeah. At the age that I grew up in, it wasn't so much... it seems like therapy is ubiquitous now, but it wasn't so much when I was growing up.
It's getting worse. I mean, especially with the...
Well, so many people are on, psychotropic drugs as therapy.
What therapy?
Or would they be called psychotropic or psychoactive drugs, to modify behavior?
Oh,
I mean, that's such a popular thing now.
Yeah. like the Xanax and Prozac and the
Haxel,
Paxil, Seroquel.
whatever. I have no idea. I mean, but yeah, plenty of friends who are on that stuff. And
Yeah.
I've seen some pretty bad damage from it too.
Yeah. No, I know a lot of people that are doing it. And I'm supposed to be on it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't have any. Personally, I just avoided all of it.
Well, the reason I mentioned that is because that's sort of an autistic trait is to have real strong difficulties with typical employment. So to me, it's not like I'm an armchair psychologist or anything, but like I kind of get vibes because I have once I found out about this that there was. I mean, I got diagnosed with autism 8 years ago, and up until that point, I thought that to be autistic, you didn't talk, you flapped, and you couldn't look at people. I thought that that's what autism was, and it's not remotely that.
Well, it's been really expanded, and I think in some way it's been monetized. That
Monetized.
Yeah, that you could make money by filling out a prescription and telling people they're either autistic or bipolar or schizophrenic or they have ADHD. I mean, they're saying that they're prescribing drugs for kids in the 3rd grade they're being diagnosed and like given Adderall. And if you add up all the millions of kids that are on Adderall,
And that's speed.
and how much money the pharmaceutical is making from that diagnosis, it's like, holy fuck, you're in the shitstorm like from the get-go.
Yeah. I am. John, autism, there's no cure. There's no, I know you can get a medical card for marijuana, but that's just like for dealing with stress. But
Autism doesn't
I don't
get
think
you
so.
a marijuana card?
Oh, it can, yeah. That's like one of the.
Okay.
I did have it for a little while. I lost it. I'm not. It helps me sleep so much. I'm trying to do this interview as best I can, but I haven't had a good night's sleep in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Especially with the dog house I'm dealing with. But I found out there was at that time a diagnosis called Asperger's. Okay. Now Asperger's, there were these traits that overlapped with severely
There's
autistic.
a wide spectrum with that too, right?
So there's it's a brain difference. The spectrum it's a binary condition. You either have it or you don't have it. A lot of people, the worst term I hear is light autism. You don't have light autism. You either have it or you don't. It's a brain difference, and it was genetic. It was an evolutionary thing that happened to us. And 1 in 32 people have it.
Huh.
So it's super common. But once I learned about it, artists, mathematicians, all the tech geeks, when I first learned about it, I went on the Wikipedia page. I was working at the grocery store, and I was like, holy shit, half the people here have it. And I asked a couple people. I was real open. It's part of the reason I got fired. But the friends that I was making there, because I didn't. That's another trait, is having difficulty making friends and keeping relationships. I could tell that they were cool, and I'd be like, "Hey, do you have?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, I got diagnosis with autism." And it was 3 people. I was like, "Boink, boink, boink, boink." But I went to the Wikipedia page, and they showed this kid stacking cans, like soup cans. And I went into work, and I'm like, "That's what all of these people are doing. They're just stacking cans. No wonder." But yeah, the reason I mention it is because ever since I got diagnosed and I started researching it, I kind of have this autism radar, and I'm like, "You're definitely dinged, ding."
Because my version of getting a real job.
Well, no, that you had a difficulty with real jobs. not real jobs, typical jobs. Though, like you have a real job. You're a taxi driver. That's absolutely a real job, right? Um, it's
I guess, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's mostly just artwork for me, and I don't even, that just pays the bills.
lift.
I do that, yeah.
Well, that's what I mean. Like with most people, they can get a job that they have some interest in that does more than just pay the bills. You know, that's the key to like a having a semi stable,
Yeah,
comfortable life. I mean, it's not.
yeah. I mean, I did that when I had an art gallery and when I had a bookstore, and making it, just some purely creative stuff is just it's just a harder nut to crack.
It's hard not to crack.
It's a harder nut to.
Oh, harder nut to crack. Okay. Um, yeah, it's super difficult. You never did anything commercial. You stayed true to yourself.
No, I've never done commercial work.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's the worst. Don't even try it.
yeah. I have no interest in advertising or anything like that.
Well, no, I wasn't even talking about that. I was talking about my time in New Orleans, where I still had some interest in like. I'm going to do that. I'm going to start painting in Pittsburgh. I'm going to start some scenes up again, and but like in New Orleans, commercial was there were 4 shots that sold over and over again: Pirates Alley, Lafitte's Blacksmith Shop, St. Louis Cathedral, and the blacksmith shop. Or no, but I could paint those paintings over and over and over again, and it's like soul sucking. Whenever you're creative and you're still trying to convince yourself that you're being creative, but you have to pay the bills.
Yeah,
And
sorry about this.
that's all right.
I usually have it off.
Yeah.
A friend of mine, Vedanta, who's an artist, and didn't have much. He had zero ego about being an artist, and he had a pretty funny story about becoming an artist. That I don't know if I should segue into this, but
Go for it.
Him and his wife were living on Ibiza, and they would work for an artist. In Europe, it's different with art fairs, that the artist isn't expected to be at a booth. It's just somebody selling his artwork.
Mm-hmm.
And him and Sitar, his wife, worked for an artist, and they would travel around Europe at these art fairs selling this guy's art. And then they decided to move to America, and they set up at a fair, I think Philadelphia, and they had this guy's work that they were selling, and the director of the fair asked them if they could set up an easel and paint. And neither of them had ever painted before, but they were like, "Oh, okay." So they started painting, and eventually they got good enough at it that they could do art fairs with their own art. So they kind of transitioned, and he would have paintings that he would joke that he would call them classics. It was like an archway, a path down to like the sea, and flowers. And he says, that's guaranteed like $300 every time I do it. It's always going to sell.
Yeah. And
he would call them his classics. And I found myself, I do that with like kind of Pittsburghy landscapes.
Mm-hmm.
But they're not anything specific. Like, they're still, I start it and I don't know what I'm doing when I start it, but it's vaguely like a hillside with houses.
Out of your imagination, just inspired from Pittsburgh.
Yeah. Like that round one there. Those are my classics. Like every time I make one, I guaranteed to sell it.
Yeah.
So, and when I get burned out by them, then I won't do them. But
is that gouache?
It's oil pastel
Uh-uh.
with it's like black gesso with oil pastel on top.
Oh.
And sometimes I'll put in a radio tower or a quarter moon or a crescent moon or the river or a water tower or but I just make it up as I go. So it's not like a specific like storefront like you were saying.
Yeah.
So that's about as commercial as my work gets, is to do kind of abstracty, childlike landscape.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that it doesn't
Like that's my version of selling out, I guess. But people love them.
Yeah.
Like it took me like 20 years to paint a landscape that I didn't destroy. Like, and then I landed on that, and people like it, so it's like great. I'll keep doing them. Yeah.
So do you have a lot of repeat buyers or?
Not really. No, there's really only couple of people who bought more than one, I think. Yeah. Thad Mosley was actually like probably the best patron I had. He bought several pieces that were significant. Yeah.
How often do you? How much time do you spend in your studio here?
Not as much as I should. I always want to spend more time than I do.
You have other interests that occupy your time?
Yeah, other projects that I juggle. And too much time just. I think it was de Kooning said the worst thing about being poor is that it takes up all your time.
That's true. Yeah, I know that. What is like? What do you think like the weirdest story in your life is?
Weirdest story?
Yeah.
I don't know. One of them that was pretty weird. I was living in Manhattan, and we didn't have hot water. It was wintertime, and man, I just felt like going somewhere warmer. And some of my roommates at the time were from Santa Fe, and I just thought of Santa Fe as like desert, heat, nice warm place. So I took a Greyhound to Santa Fe. I was just moving.
You moved there?
And I got on the Greyhound, and we stopped in Santa Fe, and it was snowing. And I was like, what the
High
heck?
desert.
Yeah, I had no idea.
Yeah.
I didn't think that was the last thing I thought of. So, the bus stopped, I went to a coffee shop, sat down, this girl sat down at the table, and she started talking to me about the 7 levels of reality. And I just thought, I'm going to get back on the bus. And I got back on the bus until it got to San Francisco.
Mhm.
And, didn't know anybody, nothing. And I didn't have much money. I was just sleeping outside. And,
you're homeless.
Yeah, I was sleeping on the Berkeley campus. They had like a little stream running through, and there's a little bit of area with some trees. I had one of those like aluminum foil kind of bed things, like for I didn't have much.
That's rough.
Yeah, it was fine. It was a nice weather.
Uh-huh.
It wasn't cold. It was fine. And one day I'm looking through the local paper, and there's an artist sketch of this mad arsonist that had been setting fires for the last couple of months. And he looked exactly like me. If somebody just drew a portrait of me, that was the artist sketch.
Uh-oh.
I mean, I had long hair at the time.
Uh-huh.
It was, it just kind of startled me. And, I'm sleeping in the middle of the night, and I hear this loud roar. I don't know if you've ever been close to a fire, but fires are fucking loud.
Yeah.
I mean, I had no idea. And I was like, just like 50 feet away, this huge fire was. It's like, what the fuck? And I roll up my belongings and I run out to the street to like look. It was back when it was payphones. There was before cell phones. What year would this be? It would be like 84 or 85 or something. And I go out the street and I'm looking for where the nearest phone is, and I'm like in the middle of the street, and a cop car pulls up, and I'm thinking, this looks really bad.
But he didn't.
So he tells me to get in the car.
Oh,
he asked me what I'm doing. I'm looking for a phone to call about that fire. I mean, it's just huge. It was the ROTC building, and I think Desmond Tutu had been. Bishop Tutu was scheduled to be talking at the university like soon, so it was like a targeted thing.
Yeah.
So, I'm kind of like, half stepping towards towards the cop, and I'm like, I'm looking to call about the fire, and he says, get in the car, and another car pulls up, and the cop says, we got him.
Man.
So they put me in the local jail, and they put me in a bunny suit.
Wow. A bunny suit?
Like, it's just this all white thing where the feet are attached, and
okay.
So I wouldn't hang myself or whatever. They took away everything, and they were going to test it for, accelerants. And luckily, I had just been there like, a week or so. So they called my old roommate in Brooklyn, and she told them that I had just left. So I obviously wasn't, the guy who's been setting fires for a couple months. And
that's an odd thing to get you. That is weird.
Yeah, they took all my, and then they were taking me out of that jail to transport me to the county, and there was all press around, and I'm like, can we please go out, the back door, and so they did do that. We went out, so it wasn't cameras flashing and stuff. But my name was in the paper that I was under federal investigation, and I'd walk around San Francisco, and there were, there would be guys in suits on corners, and looking at me. I'd look at them, and suddenly they'd look at their wrist, and they didn't even have a watch on. It was like, wow. I mean, so. I was paranoid, but reasonably paranoid.
Yes.
That, if it's in the paper, I'm under federal investigation. People are looking at me. So
your picture was in it?
They didn't have any pictures, no. But they had. I mean, the artist sketch was pretty fresh. I mean, and they let me out of the county. Like, they just drove me up there with my hands handcuffed behind my back and like this hard, rigid seat of like the back of a cop car, and they released me with like, pants that were, half a foot off the ground, and my ankles showing, with like these like wingtip shoes that were like a few sizes too big, and like no shirt but like a ski vest, and that's what I was released from jail with, and they took all my possessions, so I didn't have any. I remember
that's theft.
Like I walked into a McDonald's to go to the salad bar, and they refused service to me
because of how you dressed.
Because how I looked, because I looked like I was just like completely.
They didn't give you. They should have compensated you, right?
No, it was the only time I've ever been. Besides not being able to get in some bars when I was younger, it was the only time I was turned down from going somewhere to eat, just eat.
So how long did you stay in San Francisco after that?
A year. Yeah.
How did it taper off?
It all was fine.
What a very unique kind of San Francisco experience.
Yeah, that was kind of weird. That was my introduction to San Francisco.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't think it gets weirder than that.
yeah, that was pretty weird. Yeah, but yeah, that's an unusual story. If you
Yeah,
want.
thanks for sharing.
Sure.
Yeah.
And when I did go to court over
Oh,
that,
okay, yeah.
I met with somebody for just like a minute. Like they gave me a public defender,
Uh-huh.
and I think that guy wasn't the guy that ended up in court with me. And the judge starts reading whatever and says, "How do you plea?" And the official charge wasn't arson or anything. It was actually sleeping without consent because I was on the campus.
Yeah.
And he said, "How do you plea?" And I said, "Guilty." And the lawyer turns and says, "If you don't plead not guilty, you're going to walk through that door. You'll be in jail for months." And I'm like, no, I guess he didn't know what was going on. And, the judge called us both to the bench and explained to the attorney who was supposed to be representing me that it was okay. But it was just all kind of dysfunctional. Yeah. And yeah, I just got a ticket or something like that.
Yeah, for sleeping without permission.
Yeah. Sleeping without consent.
Oh,
I'll
consent.
always remember that term. For some reason, it stuck.
Well,
It seems like a funny thing.
in Altoona, they're going to make homelessness illegal soon. So,
Well,
yeah. And if you do get your van, just know that it's illegal to do that. You're not allowed to sleep in a car.
oh, really?
No.
Wow.
Nope. It's loitering.
Wow. Is that like a standard around the country?
It's most places, yeah. Most places you're not allowed to do it. And but I just don't understand how you can outlaw being homeless. But they're doing it.
That's pretty. Yeah, I guess there's a lot of people in prison now for like what used to be called debtor's prison, like people who are just in debt, and they're being jailed for it.
I didn't know that.
And that's, you're
Debtor's prison.
criminalizing poverty. It's not a good thing with all these concentration camps going up. Like private for-profit prisons is like a gateway drug from capitalism to fascism. I mean, that's it.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're making profit from imprisoning people, you're at like the very bottom of capitalism. It's
Yeah, I agree with you entirely. That there should not be, and I find hospitals that are for profit vile too. I mean, it's
yeah. I think our whole system is just with healthcare. It's just terrible.
yeah.
I've had health insurance like 1 year out of my life.
You're not on Medicaid
Well, you know what? I turned 65, applied for Medicare,
or Medicare, right?
and it's like December 10th. I get a bill from Medicare that's due on Christmas Day. It's like
Merry Christmas.
$12.25.
Yeah.
That they want like almost $1,000. It was like $982. Like 2 weeks before Christmas. Like I don't have $1,000 just laying around, especially like 2 weeks before Christmas. Like so, I didn't pay it, and I'm getting notices now. I still haven't. I'm still catching up with bills and crap. Like, I don't know if I don't know what happens. I haven't paid it yet. It's like $200 a month. I thought Medicare was free. Like, as naive as I am, I thought, oh, I turned 65 and I'll have health care.
You should be able to get public assistance. You're not on SNAP.
I don't know. I'm not on anything. Like
you could very easily do that. Like especially if you do your taxes right with Lyft.
On paper, I make a lot of money with that.
No, you don't.
On paper,
No, you gross. You probably
well,
gross a lot.
I
but
gross
if you,
a lot
yeah.
of money,
Yeah.
and that doesn't. I don't qualify for any of that. I gross way too much money. I just like have so many bills that, yeah, I'm not eligible for any of that stuff. Not that I really looked into it. I'm just, I don't know.
You can make a. I think it's about 23,000 a year now.
I make way more than that. Like
Gross. You
gross. I made like 90 grand.
Doing Lyft. And
Yeah, doing Lyft and selling art.
oh wow.
I mean, I'm supposed to be. I don't even have a savings account. Like I typically just have enough to pay my bills. Like every week, I just have enough to pay my bills. Like I'm just like floating all the time, and I'm way behind on stuff at this point. Like gas bills this way.
I can see your eyes starting to twitch. This is
Oh, it's fucking stressful to be like. Yeah. Well, yeah. That's probably why I. As fun as it is to have this space, unless I could start making more money from it, yeah, it's just not. The way I've been doing it so far is not working as well as it should. I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to get better at selling bigger pieces or having guests and making a commission from that.
Yeah, I mean you can't count on foot traffic here. So
no, I'll get once in a while. I'll get some people in, but once I get the stage area done, I'll have to get a PA. And I'd like to just pick up a piano too, and start having shows, start having music here.
Yeah, it was a. I think we got plenty here. Let's see, what do we got? Oh my goodness, yes.